Hi there, Heather Beaton here, life and leadership coach. Wanted to have a quick chat today with respect to some of the work that we do in Illuminate, Unleash Your Inner Leadership Brilliance, which the new cohort begins in September. So, wanting to share what this program is about and invite people into conversations if they're interested or think they're interested in this work. This is about leadership and Illuminate is about shining the light within. So it is all about looking at ourselves and how we show up in our leadership. And today, I wanted to talk about decisions, decisions, decisions. So, one of the areas that I find in my work with executive clients and senior leaders within organizations in the corporate environment is their hesitancy around making decisions. So, part of the challenge as we move up in an organization is that oftentimes at the lower levels of but in fact, if we are going to be successful in our leadership, we are required and accountable for decision making. And one of the things that I find that, in my experience working in the corporate environment for many years, and in my work with people as a coach now on the other side of the fence, so to speak, is people are really frustrated with leaders who appear like they can't make decisions or they won't make decisions. So, it's like getting curious around that. And I was working with someone a while ago and they said they really struggled with making decisions. And I said, well, what is it? What is it that's going on with you? And they were very clear. It was around the fear of making the wrong decision. So one of the things that and I totally get that. It's like we are all wanting to be seen in the light of being successful, being smart, making the right decisions, not making mistakes. Um, all of which is not human because we all make mistakes. But oftentimes our fear of making a decision is related to external approval. Like we want to be seen by others in a certain way. And so, because of that, we project that outside and we get in a frozen state. Oftentimes, people are like they're frozen, they're unable to actually make a decision because they operate in a context of the fact that there is a right or wrong decision. And the truth is, right and wrong is a social construct, and it's true if we think it's true, but it's not true if we don't think it's true. So if I make a decision and I find out that that maybe wasn't the direction that I could have gone in that might have served my people or my organization more effectively, more powerfully, more beneficially, I can label that as a mistake. I can label that as making the wrong decision. But in fact, I made a decision. I got from a place of being stuck to a place of moving, unstuck, moving forward. And from there, I can then assess where I want to go next. If I'm frozen and unable to make a decision, nothing changes. I just stay there. And if you're running an organization or a branch or a division, um, your whole entity is waiting for you. And so you are required as a leader to make decisions. What is really important is to understand what is your relationship with decision making? Where do you get stuck? Do you get stuck? And what is underneath that? So that's where we want to look in a coaching relationship is, hmm, you seem like on some level, you know which way you want to go, but something is holding you back. What I find is it's often fear and it's directly connected to not wanting to make a mistake. So that's the area that we dig and we explore. And usually from there, the person can move themselves forward. But oftentimes, um, people just aren't used to having decision making authority. So there is a bit of a transition as we move into more senior roles. We have to take on more responsibility. We're actually like required to make decisions, and that can feel really overbearing and uncomfortable. So it's a practice. It's like, okay, well, I'm not sure which direction to go, and I'm going to sit with that, and I'm going to listen to myself. What do I like? What do I really think is the best direction for me, my people, the organization? And I might talk to some people, and I might explore with them, brainstorm around what the different options are. And from there, I'm going to make a decision and take an action. Um, then, the more I practice that, the more I'm able to listen to myself, the more I am able to then trust me. Because when I'm unable to make decisions, it's usually because I don't trust myself. So I had an experience recently where I was in a vehicle with someone, a friend, and they were pulling into a tight parking space, and they said, am I going to hit that car beside me? Am I going to hit that car beside me? And I was like, yeah, you're really close to that car beside you. And they said, no, I'm not. I'm not going to hit that car. And I was like, why did you ask me? And the truth is that person really did know where they were at. They could see in their rear, in their side mirror, and they had a little bit of tension, but it was like, they didn't really want my opinion. And so I'm sure you've experienced that where somebody has, or you may have asked somebody your opinion, and then when they give you their recommendation, you argue with them. Well, that's a clear indicator that you actually have a belief around which direction you should take, but you're doubting yourself. So they give you a recommendation that doesn't align with what you really believe inside, whether you're voicing that or not, and then you disagree with them. So notice that if you're the decision maker and you're resisting other people's recommendations, because somewhere in there you have a belief and a desire to move in a certain direction. So my recommendation to you would be to trust that. Practice trusting what is true for you and see where that takes you, because as a leader, you're going to have to make decisions. Making decisions is sometimes uncomfortable because the truth is we don't know. We think we are going to make the right decision, so we're going to sit there while we figure out what the right decision is. But the fact is, you don't know whether it's good, bad, right, wrong, however you want to define it, until you actually step forward. Then you can assess where you're at. Until then, there is no right decision. There is no decision. You're just sitting where you're at. And not making a decision is a decision. So own it and sit with it and decide where you want to go from there. But the whole point of this is that leaders must make decisions. Sometimes that's a challenging place for them to be. The work we do in Illuminate is all about looking at how we get in our own way. What are the beliefs that we hold around leadership that don't serve us, that don't serve the organization, that don't serve our people? And from there, how do we want to practice our leadership differently? And the program is called Illuminate for a reason. It is about shining the light within. Leadership growth is not outside of ourselves. Leadership growth and expertise and brilliance in leading comes from self work, comes from looking at ourselves, comes from understanding what is my relationship with feedback? What is my relationship with making decisions? What is my relationship around asking for help? What is my relationship around delegating to others? What is my relationship with myself in all areas of leading? Look at your family life. How do you show up in your leadership in your relationship with your partners? How do you show up in leadership in relationship with your children? We are leaders in all aspects of our lives, and how we show up in our private life will be mirrored in many ways in our professional life. So it crosses the whole spectrum of our lives, leading does. And Illuminate really looks at you as a leader of your life, not just in your business. So if you'd like to explore how you show up in your leadership and you'd like to really delve into that kind of work, then Illuminate will definitely serve you. We start in September. It runs for 6 months, and there are 10 seats. There are now 9. So if you're interested, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can connect with me on Facebook. And what we will do is have a conversation and see if this is a fit for you. So if you're interested, look me up and let's connect. That's it for today. Take care. Talk soon.